Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking the code on one of the most misunderstood ideas in real estate: what really causes a property to lose its value. And trust me, the answer isn't what you probably think.
Okay, let's dive right in with a bit of a puzzle, one that appraisers solve every single day. Picture this, a 50-year-old building, and it's in fantastic shape. So why would it be worth less than a brand new one? And to make it even trickier, why might it sometimes be worth more? It seems to fly in the face of common sense, but believe me, there's a clear logic at play here.
And the answer to that puzzle is all wrapped up in one word: depreciation. Now hold on, this isn't the kind of depreciation your accountant talks about for taxes. Nope. In the real estate appraisal world, this is about real-world value. It's the actual, measurable loss in what someone would pay for it from any cause when you stack it up against a shiny new equivalent.
So, if it's not just about a building getting older, what's really going on? Well, think of appraisers as detectives. When they're looking at a property's value, they're on the hunt for three main culprits.
All right, suspect number one is the one we all get right away. It's physical deterioration. This is the stuff you can literally see and touch: the rust, the cracks, the wear and tear. It's the simple, unavoidable impact of time and use on a building.
And this can be anything, you know? It could be something kind of minor, like worn-out carpet, or it could be a total disaster, like termites eating away at the very bones of the building. It's everything from a leaky faucet to a roof that's seen better days.
Okay, now for our second suspect. This one is way more subtle. It's called functional obsolescence. And what that means is the building could be built like a tank, perfectly solid, but its design is just, well, it's out of date. It doesn't meet what people want today.
I mean, think about it. A massive 5-bedroom house, but it only has one bathroom. Who wants that today? Or how about an office building with ceilings so low it feels like a cave? The building itself works, sure, but its own features are holding its value back.
And that brings us to the final suspect. This is the one that gives property owners nightmares because there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. It's external obsolescence. This is when the problem isn't the property at all, it's the world outside its property lines. So you could have this picture-perfect, beautifully designed house, right? But if they decide to build a noisy factory next door, or the whole neighborhood just becomes less desirable, boom, your value takes a nosedive. The house didn't change, but the world around it did.
All right, so we've got our three suspects lined up. But here's the next question: can we actually fix the problems they cause? To figure that out, appraisers use a really simple but powerful economic test. When an appraiser finds a problem, whether it's a cracked foundation or a totally bizarre floor plan, the first question is pretty straightforward. Can you physically fix it? Is it even possible?
But, and this is the big but, is it actually worth fixing? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not about what you can do, it's about what makes financial sense.
And here's the rule of thumb appraisers live by. A fix is only considered curable, that's the lingo they use, if the money you pour into it adds at least that much value back to the property. If it costs more to fix than the value you get back, forget it. It's considered incurable.
Let's make this real. Imagine you spend 50,000 pesos to update an old bathroom. An appraiser comes in and says, wow, that update just added 70,000 pesos to your home's value. See, you're ahead by 20 grand. That is a curable problem. It's a no-brainer.
And this chart really lays it all out. You can see that physical issues and design flaws, yeah, a lot of those are curable. But look over at external obsolescence. It's almost always incurable. I mean, you can't just pay to move the airport away, right? So with all these moving parts, physical, functional, external, things you can fix, things you can't, how do appraisers land on a final number? How much has the property really depreciated? Well, it's pretty simple. They let the market do the talking.
This right here, this is probably the single most important idea to grasp in this whole explainer. Depreciation isn't some formula in a textbook. It's what the market says. A building isn't worth less just because it had another birthday. It's worth less because buyers are willing to pay less for it. Simple as that.
So how do they listen to the market? They use this really clever technique called the market extraction method. It sounds fancy, but it's basically a way to let a real, recent sale tell you the story of what a building's actually worth.
Okay, here's how it works. You take a recent sale price, let's say 8 million pesos. Then you figure out what the land itself is worth and you just subtract that. So, in this example, the market is shouting loud and clear that the building, just the structure, is worth 5 million.
Then for the last step, you compare that 5 million to what it would cost to build that exact same building brand new today. Let's call it 6.5 million. That gap, the 1.5 million pesos, that right there is your total depreciation. It's not a guess, it's a number pulled straight from the market.
Okay, let's bring all this home. What's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for how we should really think about what a property is worth?
Look, at the end of the day, it's not about the year the property was built. It's about its condition, how useful it is today, and where it sits. A brand new building with a wacky layout in a bad neighborhood can be a total dud. But a classic, well-kept older building in an amazing spot, its value can be rock solid. Age really is just a number.
And that leaves us with one final thing to chew on. We've seen that the stuff you can't control, those external factors, are often the most powerful and impossible to fix. So it makes you wonder, how much of a property's fate is sealed before you even turn the key in the front door? It really puts that old saying, location, 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 into a whole new light, doesn't it?